The music's still loud in my ears. Let's put it back at the beginning. It is indeed afternoon. Well, it's right at noon for me. So, is noon afternoon? Oh, who all we got? We got a Blaze, we got a Dave, we got a Twice Dead. So Twice Dead. The books from Amazon. I don't think they're getting here till between the 28th and like the 3rd of next month. So add that to however long it'll take to get from here to you. The hardback is taking forever. GM Ben's his soft cover is supposed to be here today, so we'll see if it actually makes it. Oh, we're in the same time zone? Okay. And it's only 1 p.m. for Twice Dead. I was thinking you were like way far ahead. I thought it was like 6 or 7 in the evening for you at this point. I didn't realize we were that close. Oh, that's right. Blaze has a job now. So are you watching me at work? And I think you're in office, aren't you? We talked about it. I think you're a mixture. Or at least starting out in the office. So don't get distracted. He's just souther. Well, I don't know where I mean, technically I know exactly where he is now, but like I can't place it on a map. Stopped working 3 hours ago? That's a good point. You are definitely ahead, so alright. So that works out. So I can stream and not distract you. It's all my style. What's going on, man? A little bit of everything. We didn't get a hangout stream this week, so I got a lot to ramble about. But I will try and keep it focused on Moss and Stone. So I've gotten used to the hangout streams. I can just blow everything going on and ramble and get it all out of my system. You go to the office, it would be good for me in the long run. Yeah, I remember you were excited to get back in the work environment because you're a social butterfly. You like hanging out with people. Mental health, woo! Like down to the street he knows. And that's right, I got all the information. So I went to the store this morning. I have a new drink to try. Some peach flavor. I just saw peach flavored, and I was like, I want to grab it. So I am worried it's going to be too sweet. It only has 3 grams of sugar in it, but it has a mixture of like regular sugar and stevia. So that might be way too sweet. It smells strong. Pretty good. Not too sweet. All right. We got peach flavored drinks. We're in good shape today. $7:01. All right, yeah, I'm exactly 7 hours ahead for now. Okay, so I do have. Let me go get it. I got another Bova update. He's still working on the vulture, but we have some progress. Ta-da! It's looking pretty cool. Great music today. Pretty solid. I like the office job because it's external structure. That and my clients are all in office. Oh, I hated going to the office because there was just no reason for me to be there. Now sometimes I worked where we were attached to a shop, and then it made sense to be there sometimes. Not all the time, but that art for your game sure is. Sure is. This is the Hollow Tongue. All right, let me get them both on screen. This is the Hollow Tongue. He's starting to turn. So these are supposed to be. Where's my little laser pointer? This stuff, like that's supposed to be scales, but they're made out of stone. And the way I explained it to him, I was like, yeah, they get these random patches on them, and they start, getting the stone scales. And I was explaining the lore to him. I was like, their heart is actually turning into a corrupted whisper stone. And so he had the idea. I was like, well, let's try making the all the stone growth be more dense around the heart. Like that's where it's starting and working its way out. I was like, that's a super cool idea. Sean Bova is the artist. He's also the original artist for all the Easy D6 stuff that Scotty has made anyway. So I really like his look. So I was like, well, shoot, I feel like that would fit Moss and Stone very well. So reached out. And he was like, heck yeah, man. He was excited to work on some anthropomorphic critters. So, because yeah, here's like that's right out of Easy D6, so you can see the similarities. So this is Jack Redmere. He's just a character in the world. And then this is Random Vulture. It was funny because I was explaining the hollow tongues to him. I think I mentioned this in another stream. A vulture was his first idea. He's like, I think that'd be really cool. And I was like, yeah, that's probably why we picked a vulture for the Twice Dead Swamp as like the ultimate bad guy. But he wanted it. He had the idea of, I forget what type of vulture this is, but it has the real long neck. He's like, that'd be kind of dragon-esque. I was like, that checks out because birds in this world are kind of like dragons. So it was a good call on his part. Had to be over 30 seconds behind, having some significant well, is anybody else having stream issues? It says the stream is healthy, and I have it set on low latency. So it should be like right there. I could go ultra low latency next stream. See if it really breaks. But it's getting all the data, like nothing's dropping on my end, so. Not noticing Steam drop. Okay, stream drop, not Steam. So I will say, Wispy Wisp, if you're with us and you want to play some Moss and Stone, I think I am in need of some players this weekend because my buddy Parker, the one I've been playing Hightail with on Sundays on his channel, he is like my original ttrpg buddy. Like when I first got into it, he was in the campaign and taught me a lot of the ropes. So we haven't got to play in a long time, and since we've been playing Hightail, I was like, man, when are we gonna roll some dice again? So he's excited to try it because he was also the one that learned Easy D6 with me. Like when I found that game, he was the one I tried it out with, as well as Glee and a couple other folks like Krig. So we all enjoyed it, but we haven't played it since then. So he's like, yeah, man, let's do it. So he has this weekend off. He has like some kind of rotating schedule. So he's off Saturday and Sunday. I was like, well, we can try and do something. If worst case scenario, you get to make a whole party and run the whole party yourself. But I have something I can run for you. It'll be a very lighthearted playtest. Yeah. Just be hanging out, and playing. It'll still be a test, but I don't even know if it'll be streamed. Like, I know I mentioned in the community post that I might stream it. It's like if I can get players, but like I don't think I'm going to be able to get a full stream crew together, so it'd probably just be an offline play thing, which is fine. So Wisp, if you want to get in on some of that, I know you've been wanting to. So anyway, now that that's out there in the world, I will also say this has nothing to do with Moss and Stone, but I am officially big league YouTuber now. I got my first email this morning for a mobile game sponsorship. It was kind of a rip too, man. They wanted to pay for a live stream, and they're like, you gotta stream 1.5 hours minimum, and we'll pay you $20. I was like, that's not even enough for me to consider selling my soul and betraying my entire audience. What am I gonna do with $20 for an hour and a half? But hey, it was not Raid Shadow Legends. It was freaking block something. It's just one of those games where it's not even Tetris, but it has Tetris pieces, and you like place them on the screen wherever. It's like, even if I wanted the money, even if it was good money, there's no way I could play that for an hour and a half. Like, it's just, what's wrong with you? Done much worse for less. $20 for an hour and a half. Yeah, I think that's what they said. They said they had a $180 budget, so if I wanted to do multiple streams. Uh-oh. What you got? Oh, books. They just showed up. It's heavy. Okay. I think these are just the soft covers. Glee just brought them in. GM Ben, there's your copy. I mean, technically, you can have your pick of the litter here. I will pick the best looking one. These are actually in good shape. The first few I got were kind of rough. Man, these are nice. Or maybe mine are just rough because they've been sitting around the house. Well, that's cool. All right, GM Ben, you still got to send me what you want yours to say. I assume your name is Ben, so that's what I will address it to. Yeah, that is laughable nice. It is. Books. So, Twice Dead, we're still waiting on the hardcover. It's going to take them a while. Brain Dead Text, I've been squeezing SAP knowledge into my noggin for 8 hours. Whoa. Are you a pro now? Also, something I want to do that has nothing to do with Moss and Stone, but y'all can tell me if this sounds interesting. So, behind me, you can't really see it. I've been working on another ttrpg. I'm not gonna let it get in the way of anything. This has just been in the evening when I'm mostly spent, but I'm trying to do it all on paper. And I had the thought, oh man, we could have a stream with a second camera instead of this whiteboard. Just all on paper. We can have a getting back to our roots kind of stream. It's been fun though, just working on the paper. Shares hours with Eastern time zone, so New York and Florida. Well, I get a bunch of We See You funded on Kickstarter. Oh, do you know you can pay us money to get even more? Interesting. So, the first time I published a book, I'm trying to remember, was it? I didn't even publish the book when oh hey, speaking of paying for viewers, looky there. How do we get rid of you? Man. And then we'll just delete it. Alright. And Crash is trying to eat the books. Don't do that, Crash. You have an entire box of your own. But anyway, the first time I sent off a manuscript to the copyright office, because of the way it was filed, is like, this is a manuscript, this is a story. I started getting emails from people wanting to publish it, and it was, I forget what it's called, but there's this whole scam business of, well, they'll just email people as soon as they copyright a manuscript, and it's one of those, hey, if you pay us a little bit, we'll do all this legwork, publishing, blah, 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 and then you'll get a whole bunch more money. And of course, that never happens. So it's one of those legal scams you're allowed to do. Obviously, auto-generation, there are like 30 of them. Yeah. Hand desk cam. Yes, it was. I thought it'd be kind of fun. Just a couple streams maybe, but I have to, before that one takes off, I gotta get at least Nuts or Moss and Stone done. One thing has to be done first, because two TTRPGs, technically just one. Because Nuts is done. It's just got the Kickstarter stuff, which I need to do. So 2 of those and writing a book is enough, and managing a YouTube channel. So I don't need more projects. That I'm not just south of her, but also a little east compared to the Big Ten. Something's got to give. Yeah, well, something's got to get done. Glee needs to let out rage and do some banning. Well, I'm sure we'll have another one. Get at least 2 every stream. So anyway, I think that's... And I mentioned I was like, I should make a new thumbnail for this since I can. I have Jack Redmere over there, the mouse. Barely work on one game at a time. I mean, I don't know what condition I'd be in if I actually had a job to go to. I mean, this is my job now, so. The writing is easy, but the layout is where all the time and energy gets sunk into games. So for me, it's mechanics. I love working on the mechanics. The world building is easy for me. And that's not to say it doesn't take work or whatever. It's like it's just something I have done a lot of, like over the span of 30 years at least. So I know my way around that part, so I can knock it out pretty quick. But the mechanics is what I enjoy and get super sucked into because it is a problem to solve. You know, once I come up with a concept, it's like, okay, how do I make this work? So that's the part I enjoy. And then, yeah, that's kind of why Nuts is dead in the water now. It's like, yeah, it works. I'm done with it. I don't want to dress it up or do anything with it. Only part of Tennessee is CST. Part of it, yeah, it's a long it's the pancake state. It's just stretched out, squished. Got my thesis and my TTRPG projects. I discarded the Aztec game and now I'm doing rain, knights, and vermin. Abilities and feats are apparently your bane. Interesting. Love the mechanics and world building, but I have to force myself to do the layout. Yeah, I can't do layout. I have tried. And I know you shouldn't be like, oh, I can't do this. But it's like, no, I have tried and put a lot of effort in, like, to trying to make things look decent. But that has always been a humongous struggle of mine. So it's like, at some point, you just got to admit, I can't do it. I'm going to have to pay somebody to do this. So. You can, it's just miserable. Yeah, I can't. Everything I make looks corporate. Like, it's like, yep, technically the information is there, easy to navigate. Like, I make teaching material, learning material, things like that. It's like, I can make that, which is kind of nice for the TTRPG side, because you're trying to teach somebody how to play a game, but, like, it's not going to look like Break, where you just have this elaborate layout, you know? You know, everything looks like it was made in PowerPoint because it was. Really excited about the pre-gen character sheet we were working on. I just hate doing the nitty gritty. Yeah, that's nitty gritty and marketing. That's where it all falls apart. You had YouTube muted. We're talking about everything you missed. Oh man, no thanks. You shouldn't put me on mute. You should pay attention to me at all times, Dave. We got books. We did get books. All right. So I think we can actually get into the work we were going to do. So I kind of went off the deep end working on Corrupted Whisperstones. See you later, Blaze. So I'm trying to remember where we were. Where, you know, when I say we, like me and all of you, as far as Whisperstones go. Corrupted Whisperstones, I'm sorry. The Corrupted Whisperstones specifically. We had the Prismatic. There was a couple we didn't have a name for. Like, I didn't like Stonemancy. So I started working on the names, and then I did have a stream where I went off on a tangent explaining, like, oh, I had this really cool idea for maybe the Corrupted Whisperstones actually belong to all these other deities. And, like, because we had a Corrupted Whisperstone of the Green Warden, and I was like, well, what if that's the Corrupted Whisperstone of the Green Voice? And it turns out the Green Voice is just one of many. Then I decided that was too much for Moss and Stone. So it was making the world too in depth. I didn't want to go that far, and plus it was like, oh, these are just stones filled with power from all these deities. Like, that's just the book series I'm writing, so let me shift the boat in a new direction. So I went, and I think just twice had the idea of, like, the Corrupted Whisperstones in their name having different vocal elements, I guess. I don't know what you would call it. Like, one's a whisper, one's a shout, one's a scream, one sings, something like that. So I was leaning into that, and then I started to go the direction, minus that guy, that they're all kind of sad sounding. So like, we had, what did you call this one, Glee? You had a name for him, the atmosphere one, the Atmomancer. So instead of calling these, I didn't want them to sound like titles. Like the Atmomancer sounds like a title, like that could be a person or that could be a deity or something. Not the shiny rocks. Well, that's the thing. We have a bunch of rocks already, so it was weird that we had essentially a stone that controlled stones. It was like that didn't work. So anyway, I wanted to stray. Yeah, I know, Glee. I was sad. I wanted to stray from the titles, like the prismatic, as cool as prismatic sounds, as well as the Atmomancer. I was like, those sound super cool, but they imply that these belong to someone. So world building wise, I was like, okay, I want to keep it just the green voice and the Whisper Stones. And the Whisper Stones, I feel like we have locked in that they are just this weird, unknown power. Like everybody acknowledges it exists, but you do not try and control it. Like this is just something beyond understanding. And then there was the green voice. So I was like, I had to sit down and figure out what the green voice actually was or is. So some of you know this, some of you don't. I decided to sit down for some weird reason and write a short story that takes place in the world of Moss and Stone. And at the end of that, when a character dies, there was that religious moment, we will say. It's like, okay, how do these critters view the afterlife? Like, what is their religion? How does that work in this world? And obviously, you're going to have different religions, but like, the main thing, right? So I leaned into, and I forget what religion this comes from, but it's the idea, it's whatever that religion is, it's what inspired the life stream from Advent Children and the Final Fantasy series, for that Final Fantasy 7 specifically, not the whole series. The idea is that when you die, you just kind of become part of the world, like your energy or essence or whatever goes into this life stream. And that is the green voice. It is like this collective, not quite souls, it's just your essence or whatever. So you walk with the green voice when you die. Using timber for your stones. No, what's that? Is that like a thing? Decided to write for some weird reason, says the writer. Yeah, well, it's like, why did I need more work to do? It implied a throne and status rather than a singular. Yeah. Yep. So that's the idea of what the green voice is. Like, there may or may not be a single entity behind it, but the idea is there was this world, and this is what the stones control: the dirt, the stone, the air, everything. But everything like kind of physical. But then the green voice was life. So I kind of started liking the idea that the stones were there first and they were lonely, and then the green voice came along and brought life to the world. So they're actually working together, and when somebody splits those two and break the harmony, that's when things go wrong and the stones get angry and start corrupting things. So this is why I was leaning into the stones sounding sad, as far as the corrupted titles go for them, because you broke that harmony. Like you separated these two things. So that's grieving of the green. So that would be the corrupted whisper stone that lets you start moving trees and stuff. Lament of the Loam is when you start moving dirt and stuff. Agony of the Atmos, I don't know if that's what I'm gonna call it, but that's the weather one. Like you're forcing things to happen. And then I wanted I always forget the word. I forgot it. It's, when they start with the same letter, like agony, Atmos, grieving, green. I forget the word for that. I wanted them all to have that, except for the silence of the Unmaker. That breaks it because that is the ultimate one, and it's just... I thought it'd be super cool, too, if whenever you use this stone, alliteration. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, guys. When you use the stone, that's the silence of the Unmaker, like, there's just no sound. It just... Like, that would be pretty cool. But it's also just supposed to be kind of an in-your-face, like, oh, this one's really bad, so... let's see. Timbre is sort of the instinctive / emotional weight of a sound. You can really dig deep into the different archetypes and ways. Oh. Let me make a note. I got my little note thing over here. Actually, I could just put it on the screen, couldn't I? Look into timbre. That's not how you spell that. I could also do this. This would be a lot easier. I know how to do things. I know you got another idea of evolving the world, but I like the alliteration, so I'm mentioning that the verdant voice may sound stronger than green. Yeah. Bright versus dark, warm versus cold, hollow versus from. Yeah. That's pretty neat. The unique quality of sound. It identifies as its own thing. I headcanon the Whisper Stones as blessings from the green voice. Small part of her power trapped in a rock. Well, it's kind of where it's going, in a sense. Like I said, there's that harmony between them, and when they split, that's what goes wrong. But that is also why you will see not burnt moss on the creatures when they start growing the scales, but like just darkened because it's separating. You're killing off that part. So all of that said, much to Glee's dismay, the prismatic is going to have to go, but I have no idea what to use for the word, a word that means light. I mean, I could use light, but I already have an L down here, and Lament of the Loam sounds super cool. But I did think about dirt. I think I have it even, yeah, Dirge of the Dirt, or Dirge, however you say that. Because that was a new word I found. I even put it in the chat when I found. I gotta make sure that is the right word. That's the Lament for the Dead, especially one forming part of a funeral rite. The stone. And replacing it, at first I thought you could have a Whisper Stone that just pulls souls from the life stream, and it would function just like the original stone, where you make temporary things you can control, as well as get age-old secrets and voices and whispers. So I was like, that would just be a one-to-one just a reflavor of text. But then I was like, well, I like the idea of the stones being the physical world. I know time isn't physical, but like it's still part of the world versus souls. So the time one, that one could get crazy. But EZD6 has like 1 or 2 scrolls in it that do some weird time shenanigans, so it wouldn't be impossible. What is the matching bit for light? Well, I don't have anything. It's like whatever word we find, we will then have to find a word that goes with our word for light. You know. Are they all supposed to be, no. Don't think so. Lament of the Light. Well, that was my first thought, Glee. And then I was like, that's when, if I do that, Lament of the Loam will have to become Dirge of the Dirt or something. Because I don't want 2 laments. So, it's just Lament of the Loam was super cool sounding. But we can make Lament of the Loam Dirge. Or Dirge. I don't know how you pronounce it. Dirge of the Dirt. Which actually, I feel like dirt, I don't like the way dirt sounds in the title, but dirt would be easier for people to understand, I think. More people would know what dirt is than they would loam, so you can't multitask. Lament of the Loam is great. It is. I agree. The Sigh of the Shine. Maybe. Radiant Resonance. Is Resonance sad? That doesn't sound sad to me. I need emo words to go with the light. Well, for all of them. Grieving, agony, dirge, lament. And then we have to find something for time. Context you could figure out low. Maybe, but you never know. You never know. Glimmer gloom. Gloom of the glimmer. This is actually really good. It's not very peachy though. But it is good. Glimmer gloom, it is fun to say. Well, where'd my tunes go? They're over. Oh, we gotta find some new ones. Well, let's do this one. See if it's any good. Failing, faltering, flame. Well, flame would... People would think that's fire they could control. Lure can work. Alright. Put the fires out, speaking of. Dirge of the Dawn sounds super cool too, but... I don't think dawn quite implies light source. Because remember, this is a stone that... You're controlling light, so that means you can essentially control the darkness at the same time. Make illusions and all that good stuff. So. Want some $5 words? You can work in penumbra and penumbral. Using all these fancy words. The groan of the gleam, glow. Well, we have a G, but I think that would be okay because they're all different words. Grieving of the green and the groan of the glow. See, and my thing was about the word prism is like that doesn't. I get that there's that whole thing with the triangular pyramid shaped prism where you boop, boop with the light and it does weird things, but technically prism is a geometric shape, so it doesn't work for a light source, as cool as the prismatic sounds. That would be a cool person, like making weird shapes and doing things with them. Gloom of the glow. Gloom or groan of the glow. Creeping I don't even know how to pronounce it. Crepuscular. I like the word gloom. Pretty nice. But as far as, let's say, that's why y'all are working at that. The time stone, the way mechanically I was thinking it worked. Obviously, these are very loosey-goosey. What was the idea? You could, like, essentially undo a turn you didn't like, or rapidly age something. So, like, you could just rapidly decay a wall or something. The word is for animals active at dawn and dusk. Oh. Rue of the radiance. The ire of the iris, because rainbow. Maybe. What do we got for a time stone? As far as name goes, is there any fancy words for, well, not too fancy. People got to know what it means. For time, and then we can figure out what word pairs with that. Because let's see, you cannot tell me long. Yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna glee. Gotta head out and be dead for a bit, but nice pop and say hey. Good luck on the rest of it. Thanks, Mr. Mice. We'll call him Papa Mice, since he's gotta go be a dad. Papa Mouse. Let's see. Oh, also Silence of the Unmaker should be Unmaking. So it doesn't sound like a title. Oh, so here's just some random words. Gleam, glare, glow, which you guys have got. Illumination, beam, radiance, radiant. Sorrow of the sun. Lament of the light, which we already did that. Anguish of the arc. I don't feel like I like the word anguish. That's good, but arc I don't feel like implies a whole lot of light stuff. And I've tried hitting up the thesaurus, but I feel like I'm barking up the wrong tree here. Tone of the stone. Cause like, yeah, you're controlling light itself, but I feel like there's a better word than just light, cause I don't know. Loathing of the light. Ooh. 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 Cause it's angry, you're messing with it. Making it do. I like that one. That might be it. Loathing of the light. Okay. So that means we get to keep Lament of the Loam. Is it control of light and its absence? Yeah, so like when I say you can make darkness, you're just removing the light from the area. So whoop, and then you just make it completely dark. Which also lets you, which means if you can do that, you can like play with shadows and stuff. But since, if I'm understanding right, your ability to see things is because light reflects off of them. So technically you can just whoop, make yourself invisible or just create illusions that aren't even there. So, or make things look like they're there that aren't. So that's the idea. The sorrow of shadows came to mind, but I know we ain't manipulating shadows all night. Well, that's the thing, because you can control light, you can make it look like you're moving shadows and stuff and controlling them, so. But it's not like you can't pull a shadow off the wall and make it do stuff, but I mean, I guess technically you can make it look like it is. All very illusory. Sorrow of shadows is cool, though. Sounds like an edgy book title. Sorrow of the shadows. Uh-oh. Lumen is back. Yes, Glee. Lumen. Oh, Lumen. Alright. I think I'm pretty content with Loathing of the Light. That's pretty solid. That's... seems like it has a lot of emotion to it. Loathing. So... although, if I wanted to nitpick, everything else sounds sad and sorrowful, whereas loathing's like just anger. But I think it works. I think it works. So time. Time. Let's go look up some words for time. Thesaurus. Alright, so for time, moment, instant, occasion, second, blah, 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 blah. Time as in moment, time as in experience, time as in day, duration. Torment of time. Oh, well, there you go. Golly, you guys are good at this. Anger is part of the cycle of grief. That's a very good point. That is a very good point. Oh, what is it? It's like the 7 stages of grief or something? Dang it. I need another corrupted whisperstone. All this anger is once love kind of... Yeah. No, I'm on board. I'm on board. Torment of time is pretty solid. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see. I'm just looking for other words for time in case we find something, but not really getting anything. Age, period, era, epoch. I didn't know epoch meant time. An extent of time associated with a particular person or thing. Interesting. Today I learned. You'd think a writer would be better with words. 5. Denial, anger, bargain, depression, and acceptance. Some expand. Okay, yeah, the 5 stages of grief. So, we could have 5 wish... Slay the Spire too? Are they? Wow. Technically twice dead. We have 6 stones, so the silence of the unmaking could be the last one. You could have the 5 stages before that. Denial, anger, bargain. Okay, just for funsies, can we make that work? Because if we can, then I'm going to be pulling my hair out trying to decide what to do. Anger of the Atmos. D, denial. Denial of the dirt. Bargain. Acceptance. Acceptance sounds weird. I don't know. Mourning of the moments. Ooh. Ooh. Let's kind of put those up there. Yeah, for time. I'll put it together. Experience, adventure, ordeal, doing, exploit, episode. Yeah. There's really no other good word for time. How does wink mean time? Oh, a wink, as in a minute, a very small space of time. And in a wink, he was gone. Wow. Elegy of Eternity. Ooh. Bargain of the Brilliance. Oh, there you go. Could also do synonyms for the stages instead of strictly matching them. Could, yeah, that's a good point. I don't think I'll actually go the 5 stages of grief route, but it would be interesting. This is one of those things like, okay, if this were strictly books, I would try very hard to make that work, just so it has that extra layer. But for a game, it's like, we'll simplify it a little bit. Let's see. Eternity. Look at that. Twitch chat coming in clutch. I'll be in a wink by a hair's breadth. Hey, I know the hair's breadth one. In A Tortoise Life, I have also heard that one. There are a lot of weird expressions of time, but not the wink. I haven't heard the wink one. That one's a new one. There was another weird one too. Let's see, where was it? twinkle. A very small space of time. And just a twinkle, the shooting star was gone. Torment of the twinkle. I don't think that one would work too good. Surely that didn't get a wink of sleep. Yes, but like, I didn't think of that. See, I always thought a wink of sleep meant like your eyes were just asleep long enough for basically a wink. Twinkle is biblical? Are you serious? Here we say that time and oblivion are twin brothers. That's concerning. What is that? Okay, hang on. An elegy. Is it elegy? Is that how you pronounce that? A poem of serious reflection. Typically a lament for the dead. Ah. So good. That might outdo Torment of Time, Wisp. You might have got one-upped. In the sense that I can think of at least one verse that uses it. Plaint of the Perpetual. Y'all on these weird words. Don't make me feel dumb. I like elegy though. That's good. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Well, looky there. Language expands through community. You're not dumb, dummy. Gee, thanks. Alright. I'm liking those. The Elegy of Eternity sounds so cool, but I think Torment of Time more heavily implies that this stone's going to be doing weird time shenanigans. Because you have Loathing of the Light, and it does light things. Grieving of the Green, the Loam. Atmos is still a little confusing, but Agony of the Atmosphere just sounds... So, we can make up a word. Unless you have a better word that implies weather. Weeping of the weather. Wailing of the weather. Squirrel Man! It's me! What's going on, Mark? Oh, is that even a little squirrel emoji you got? Kinda looks like it, don't it? Oh wait, let me put it on the bigger one. Not quite a squirrel, but it's close enough. You could tell me that's a squirrel and I would believe it. Also, there's Cyros. What's going on, man? You picking them orders? Getting everybody hooked up? Had a laundry day, Indian food day, and whoa. I need a haircut, and I could definitely go for some Indian food. There's Glee with the cool cat. Is that a... Did you get that from somebody, Glee? I don't know how emojis work on Twitch. Like how people get them from other places or something. So Twitch confuses me. It looks like I have something under global. I guess, is that everybody, or is that just ones I can use globally? I feel like everybody has these. Moment, right now I'm fine tuning my magic system. There we go. We're fine-tuning titles for Magic. Crying of the clouds. Ooh. The wailing of the winds. Weeping of the weather. Scream of the skies. Oh, man. Alright. We're gonna whoop, put this up here. Well, let's say it was green. And then we'll... Crying of the clouds. Wailing of the winds. Weeping of the weather. Scream of the skies. There's shrieking of the sky. Green. We'll do this. There's the global stuff, and then the custom icons you get from being subscribed to people. Okay. I figured it was something like that, but I wasn't sure if you had to be constantly subscribed or if there was like emojis you could get to keep. You are free to steal from mine if you want. Oh, you got some cool titles going on. You have a base set on Twitch, and then anyone you're subscribed to, you get to use those anywhere. There's a lot of global ones that everyone has, and some you get from events. Glee's a Twitch pro. I don't know if y'all know this. Then whoever you're sub to. Many folks also use extensions like BTTV. Oh, somebody's got mimics. That's what that looks like anyway. Oh yeah, that is a mimic. You give, please. I like that one. Don't have extensions anymore. Steal from a magnet system is a module for a modular system after all. That's true. Oh. Howling is such a cool word, but I can't think of a corrupted whisper stone that can start with H. Howling of the hour. Yeah, me neither. Also, isn't loam like a very specific mixture of dirt? See, the reason I like dirt, because like dirt's everywhere, whereas loam I thought was a little more specific. But I suppose that might just be me nitpicking. You like that one for time? The howling? Howling of the heavens. Ooh. Ain't even heard of loam. See there, Gleeth? Thank you, Mark. Mark doesn't know what loam is. See, my argument was that dirt, more people would know what dirt is versus loam. Loam is naturally loose soil, very aerated. Dirt is about as descriptive as loam in terms of makeup. Also, dirt is everywhere. It might also imply dirt as in just dirty things. Like grime. Howling hurricanes. Wisp is killing it today. Yeah, I mean both of you are. Well, that one individual passed through with the killer one. The Elegy of Eternity. What was his name? Mr. Edmund Rhymes. Timbers. There's a see, you know what the timbers is. I didn't know what that was. I had to have that explained to me. I don't know what Howling of the Heavens would be, though. Howling of the Heavens. Would that be weather? Would that be time? Sand, loam, soil, dirt, grit, slit, silt, mud, permafrost. All useful words. Heavens is definitely weather. Weird soil, that one. Marja? Is that how you say it? Or Marga? Marja? And the default, Earth. eating of the earth. The heaven is the sky, like the lore of heaven in Warhammer Fantasy, or like how I like to call it, the lore of up. Howling of the heavens is pretty good. Also like wailing of the winds. Like that's... If it was more just basically an airbender kind of thing, wailing of the winds would be awesome, but... Which I guess, you know, if you're just making storms, it's all like air pressure, right? Clay, gravel, and dust. I did, I think, have a note somewhere considering Dirge of the Dust. Howling of the heavens is when the angels turn into werewolves. Look. I might not have a story written from a long time ago that's basically that. It was vampires and werewolves. And werewolves were angels. And vampires were demons. And some of you are thinking, wait, isn't that the one you're making now? Yes and no, as it spawned off of that one. That's what it eventually became later, so it was a little less cheesy. We just focused on the vampires bit. Crabsoft, why are you so weird? Why are you the way you are? Shattering of the sky. As you do. I didn't know you could reply in Twitch. That's fancy. Deadly Dust Devil, death by 1,000 cuts. Your mod status over here, I dare you. I don't know, Glee. Sounds risky. This is a problem when you have a bunch of cool suggestions, then you have to decide on one. And I'm terrible at that. I know. What was it? I like Wailing of the Winds, but I acknowledge there are better ones. So this is order of business right here. I think Howling of the Heavens is top pick so far. Hounds of God were werewolves that hunt demons. A guy got accused of being a werewolf, but he said, yeah, but I'm a Christian werewolf. The Hounds of God? I haven't heard those. I thought the Hellhounds were... It was always the other way. Do they not have Hellhounds in Chile? Well, now I want to look up... What is the Hounds of God? What am I getting into? Both to historical adventure novel by Raphael Sabatini and to a 17th century Livonian werewolf who claimed to serve God. Boy, I just learn all kinds of fun things from Twice Dead. It's just, you know, I've always... or I frequently said that I am a fountain of useless information. Because I know a lot of things, but it's usually not very useful. Whereas Twice Dead is a fountain of interesting information. I guess we'll do, for now, Howling of the Heavens. I lost Agony. No more Agony of the Atmos. We're Estonian? Question mark? Well, I just pulled it up. Gust of Good. No. Did it say? The story follows. No, it doesn't say here. That's some corny music. Okay, so Torment of Time, Howling of the Heavens. Way the green. Oh no. I just realized something. Everything is the something except time. We have howling of the heavens, grieving of the green, silence of the unmaking, loathing of the light, lament of the lone. And then it's torment. Saying torment of the time sounds weird. Agony of the age. Agony is free again, yeah. Very circus sounding music, and we are but a bunch of monkeys. Yeah, I think I'm gonna... Oh, it might have just ended. Nope. Well, it is called Carnival Night. Okay, this is some Sonic music, apparently. Let's fast forward that one. Agony of the Ages, yeah. I don't know if it implies time shenanigans, but we'll write it down. You had an Anguish one earlier too. Do you remember what it was? I'm gonna say unmaking could be cry instead of silence. I don't imagine being unmade is a quiet endeavor. That's what makes it so spooky. You just and you fade to dust. Crushing of the Chronos. Ooh, Chronos. Is that what that word actually? Like I know. Chronos was like a Greek person, right? Or one of their gods. Personification of time. Anguish of the Aeons might be too weird a word, though. Thanos. I mean, that's essentially what the corrupted Whisperstone of the Unmaking is. Like, that's just Anguish of the... So, okay, alright. Let me see what that word means. I don't even know if I said it right. Did I spell it wrong? A-E-O. It's only coming back with Eon. Oh, here it is. An immeasurably or indefinite long period of time. A very large division of geological time, usually longer than an era. A unit of geological time equal to 1 billion years. Goodness gracious. It's a long time. What is the effect? The title should reflect that. This is a Whisperstone that does essentially time shenanigans. Like, these corrupted Whisperstones are very loose. They follow the rules of Corey's ED6 circles of sorcery, which are like, for example, there was one of the circles of magic was a botanicalist, which lets you control a bunch of plant stuff. Like, you could just throw seeds, instantly grow something, bend trees to your will. It's just you say what you want to do, the GM determines how difficult it is, and wham bam go. That is essentially what these are doing. So one is time based, meaning like you might be able to just undo a turn, or you can rapidly age something to the point of it decaying, things like that. Rue of Rune. Time eats all. Ew. Alternate spelling of Eon. Oh, is that all it is? Eradication of the eras. Whoa. That's intense. Yeah, that one sounds terrifying. I'm not gonna use it, but I'm definitely gonna put it on the board. That sounds like a good title for a TTRPG or something. I didn't mean time, I meant Rue of Rune as an option for the unmaking. Oh! Desolation of the Days. Alright. Anguish of Where is you? Over here. Rue of Arun. Desolation of the Days. How do you spell it? Desolation of the Days. So something like Wisdom of the Ages makes someone relive their life multiple times in a matter of seconds so they can reflect on their life choices. Yeah. If it sounds good enough for a death metal album, it's good. So, he's not in the chat, but there's a guy in the server who watches the videos and whatnot. He's making a TTRPG. It's a death metal TTRPG. Like, you play as, I guess, metalheads is what you play as. I played one session with him. It was super fun. Very 80s vibe metalheads. It's pretty great. And different. Like, you can pick real life music and songs to give you abilities and stuff. It's pretty good. He plays every weekend, I think. I'm testing it out. I was like, man, you just need to let this one rip. Let it go. Eradication of the Era sounds like if you made a time traveler TTRPG. A bad jump through time deletes you. Ah! There was some... I don't think it was a competition. I don't think that's the right word. I mean, there might have been a prize. I don't know. I think DriveThruRPG did it recently. Everybody submitted little time... I think it was time travel was the core, like the prompt or whatever, and everybody sent like little one-page adventures or something. So Tricube Tales, of course, they made their one page for it. And that's how I found out about it. He was telling me about it. Because the artwork on his one page was different than what this normally was. I was like, did you find it? Because he usually, or not usually, always, he has stock art he uses from a guy that makes stock art to use for fantasy TTRPGs and whatnot. Or not specifically fantasy, but you recognize it when you see it. So when he made this one page and it was super different, I was like, did you finally get an artist? You know, did you just give up and get your own? And he said no. Somebody provided a lot of art to use for that competition or whatever it was. You like how Marco thinks? Affliction of the Ages. Ooh. Whoops. I thought I grabbed everything. So my phone beeped. Uh-oh. Glee, did Mom send that to you too by chance so you can answer? She did not. Alright. Nothing serious. She's just buying more baked goods. Reminder to YouTube folks to also follow on Twitch to help subscribers. I hate Twitter with a different poll. Can I forward messages? Text messages? Can you do that? I think next Hangout stream. I don't know how you forward messages. Forward, there it is. To Glee. Oh, it just copies and pastes it. Doesn't even look like I forwarded you anything. Anyway. Yeah, I think next Hangout stream I want to try and get some of the overlay stuff set up, like when things happen, and that means I will have to push somebody over to Twitch to at least long enough push the follow button or something, so. Alright. But that's another problem for another time. Morning of the Moments. Darn, I liked Torment of Time. I guess it's not the end of the world if it doesn't have the in it, but you know, everything else does. Alright, let's see. I know I like that more than that. This just sounds like we're destroying it. Think you're out of time? Is it time to bounce back to work? Hey, Wisp, did you hear what I was saying about Moss and Stone this weekend? If you wanted to jump in on that offline, I mean technically we'd be online, but not streaming. You got a horrible one? Oh no. Is it worse than the gooning one? I can only imagine. Lynching. Why though? Oh. Don't think we'll be using that one. Affliction sounds... Yeah, I don't think that one's gonna do it. We can chat after this. I finally have a backdrop. Heyo! My brain. Was I supposed to shake that? There's like stuff in it. Doesn't say shake well. It says please recycle. Pretty good though. Meaning you're tapped out of time related words. Oh, okay. All right. Big meeting at the top of the hour. All right. Well, that's a lot of prep. Because that's like a whole other 50 minutes. You got mine? All right. Appreciate. All right. Does it have a real? It might be. Well, that's what I'm thinking. It is. It's like it has brewed organic green tea. Cassava root fiber, something fiber I can't pronounce. Agave. I don't know what that is. Peach juice. Peach juice powder. Lemon juice powder. Man, what did I drink? Natural peach flavor. Sure, buddy. I don't know. This is good though. I don't think I'll get another one though. That was kind of expensive. I just saw peach and was like, I must try. The cassava. Oh, is that all fuzzy? You can probably. Well, I guess you can't really see it in there, can you? Floating around. I thought you'd be able to. Alright. I'm sad about Torment of Time. Perpetual is a pretty cool word too. You could have like plea of the perpetual. But see, that sounds like the lone, the light, the green, that the heavens. That sounds like an abundance of things. Whereas time, or I'm sorry, the perpetual, that sounds like the thing I was originally trying to avoid. That sounds like the prismatic or something. And then I already looked up stuff for time, didn't I? Yeah, time synonyms. Perpetual sounds like it can only preserve. Yeah. Howdy from work. It's that orc guy, big green man. Dude, I bought that Easy D6 bundle. I already had half of it, but it was still a good deal just for the other 2 books, so. Can be a bit mealy. It's a root that can actually be used in place of potatoes to make chips. What? Also an ingredient in gluten-free flours. I don't know why that came through twice. It is our orky friend. Our orky friend, we are trying to come up with names for our corrupted Whisperstone. We had Torment of Time, but everything else has a "the" in it, like Grieving of the Green, Howling of the Heavens, Loathing of the Light. Of course, technically I think the full name for these are like Corrupted Whisperstone of the Loathing of the Light? It's a very long name. But when you're at the table, you could be like, oh, I have the Loathing of the Light. I have the Torment of Time. I guess it'd be okay. I'm just being super picky. I got a guy tell me that he's allergic to gluten and I found him stealing your cake. Always nice to get it. Yeah, I've gotten. I always forget Bundle of Holding exists, but I think I've gotten 2. I've gotten 2 bundles on there, counting the Easy D6 one. The other one was I mostly got because it had break in it, but it had a handful of other things too. Excuse me. Sent twice? Yeah, I saw that. It's alright though. I'd rather it come through twice than not at all. So hang on, let's I'm looking at the manual. So it's types of corrupted Whisperstones. The thing. So like, let's say I already forgot what we have. We have corrupted Whisperstone. Types of corrupted Whisperstones. New line. The Howling of the Heavens. Does thing. The Wailing or whatever. The Silence of the Undying. The Torment of Time. I think that'd be fine. I need to wait until tomorrow to get that bundle. This bundle's there. Why you gotta wait till tomorrow? What is the difference between tomorrow and today? Still the same. You're spending the same amount of money. I know I'm being very responsible and telling you to spend money now. I have a GM brain, not writer brain. It's hard to come up with nice combos. Yeah, no, I think we're good. Let's do. Elegy of Eternity. You know, I'm gonna use that Elegy of Eternity somewhere. Something's getting titled that. And look, So these are consistent. What am I missing? Lament of the Loam. Oh, I was about to say we don't even have the same letters, but we have Loathing and Lament. That's all right. We could do Dirge of the Dirt, but Lament of the Loam just sounds so cool. I don't know though. I am still kinda these two right here. I am kind of tempted to do Lament of the Light and Dirge of the Dirt. I am torn on that one. Lament of the Loam is super cool sounding though. Interruption of Payday might be different. It might be. Kingdom of Loathing. What about Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? We're in bad country. Dirge of the Dust. Yeah, that one was I feel like, I mean, it sounds cool, but it would imply you could do a lot of other things you can't. Elegy of Eternity maybe as a chapter title for when a vampire bites some. Ooh, an experiment eternity of a life in heaven. Just to be brought back to, dang. And you just said you don't have the writer brain. You got GM brain instead. Like you're lying to yourself. I don't have chapter titles in my book. It's just well, if I could, you know, flip pages. There we go. Man, book's dusty. It's just the chapter number and then a little squiggly on top. So, that's all I have. I thought about naming them, but like, man, that's a lot of chapters to try and name. That speed running of the fall. Yeah, no, I remember. And that was super cool. And that would be a really cool chapter too. Actually, yeah, because, you know, I just got that stuff back from the editor. We're talking about adding a few chapters, one that follows a character. Guess I'll spoil it a little bit, and where we reveal that she is a vampire. That would be a great chapter name for that one. Because that's where you would learn that, and you'd be all in her head, getting her internal thoughts. I have to name the chapters in my draft, or my mind goes off-road and goes where I don't expect. Well, yeah, no, I mean, naming your chapters is super cool, and I love having titles, especially when they're like little hidden things. And it's easy to remember the title, like it helps you keep up with what chapter's what, but at least at this stage where I am with the current book, I wouldn't bother naming them, because you never know which chapter is going to get ripped out or split or another one added. Like I just talked about adding more chapters with that one character, so I try to keep my chapters flexible. Actually, when I'm writing my drafts, before I send them off, I don't even number them. I did the headers just chapter. It's just where I split. It's just like, hey, this is a good split. And I told the lady, I was like, these are just where I thought was a good place to stop and start a new chapter. There's no rhyme or reason for it. And the reason I usually stopped and started was because it was the end of the day. It's just like, yep, gonna stop here and go to bed. So. Oh, there's a bird out there. Angry mockingbird. But there's nothing wrong with naming them. It's like, that's what helps you. I don't do it because I would spend way too much time trying to come up with just that right one, only to have to remove it. Rapid fire ideas with minimal context. The spoil of plenty, the dying of hope. Ooh. The enrapture of despair. Dang, dying of hope. We don't have anything that starts with a D. Unless we did time today, dying of the day. The dying of the dawn. Now, I mentioned Dirge of the Dawn before. But that was for the light, and I was like, dawn doesn't really mean light, but dawn time? Dirge of the Dawn? Maybe? Pikes in the mud, black bile, trouble in the camp, and force march. Working on fairy coin. See, those are good ones. Those are good titles. Good chapter titles. Yeah, wasn't that Dirge of the Dawn for the time one? Me. Torment of Time's fine. I'll put it over here as a question mark. There's Dawn. I guess we can vote on these things later, right? I had to rewrite a lot because I realized a captain isn't the best point of view character. So now we follow a quartermaster. You don't want to follow the captain? I feel like a captain would have a lot to say and think about. Could see that internal conflict of sending his men out to their death. Making those tough choices. I don't know if I've done one from a captain's point of view. I've had a couple captain characters. And they're fun to write. But never been in their head. Oh, that was supposed to be something. What was I gonna call that? I just completely brain fart. What was the other name of the light? Dying of the Day? Was that it? Surely not. Ah, God, what was it? We were thinking about calling this. I thought that we were going to swap these. Oh, we would just call it Lament of the Light. That's right. Okay. Why was the medieval barber rejected as a town doctor? He had a bad sense of humor. Terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. Captain is an old man, slightly mad. Ooh. Quartermaster is the one managing the men at arms. The mages in the camp followers outside battle. Alright, that's cool. I got... Yeah, it does give you a lot more to work with. There is an old science fiction story I worked on. Was writing, and I'm gonna port it over into the Kesha Knight fantasy world, but that one, it was really fun because the science fiction one, it's this guy that was in a war, got all shot up, blown up, and they rebuilt him, that kind of thing. And the story follows him. Like you're latched to him. What do you call that? Third person limited, I think is what you call it. So you're talking about everything around you, but your camera essentially follows that character. The thing is, he was in a test tube, big back-to-tank thing, and hidden in this underground lab for the first half of the story. So you were just stuck right there the whole time. And he was essentially asleep. So even though you were following him, you weren't getting any internal dialogue. And then when he finally wakes up, or you start with nothing, and then you started getting a little internal thought. And then when he fully wakes up, you realize his thoughts are split. So you're getting two voices from him. And then as the story progresses, those two merge. And it's like, it's not so much one takes over the other, they just finally come together and get on the same line of thinking. It was super fun to do, but it's a very weird story. It needs a lot of work. Boo. Boo, he says. So he was a little crazy. But he figured it out. That one, that's what's funny, right? It was a science fiction story, but parts of it will work infinitely better in a fantasy setting. And other parts are going to be really hard to do. Security cameras played a very important role in that story. I don't know how to do that in a fantasy setting. So we'll have to figure that one out. Kesho Knight security cameras. It also leaned very heavily on real world things that people were familiar with. And that won't work in a fantasy setting because the real world is not part of that fantasy setting. At some point, yeah, the aliens that rebuilt him find a Bible. So it's like, that's not going to work in a fantasy setting. There's scrying spells, but I don't think people keep them up 24/7. Yeah. Arcane Eye, that's great. Yeah, I got a couple ideas, but I mean, I can also just remove that part. That it won't be too difficult to work around it. You just have guards or something. Tensor floating sensor or some such. Yep. We could. The thing is, the good thing is that story, unless some drastic change happens, but it will take place much later in the Kesho Knight timeline, so they will have weird technologies, at least some sensors or something for him to trigger. So I think it'll be okay, but the real life, real world stuff, that will be hard to, but it'll be hard to redo and readjust. But I think in the end it will end up being much stronger and much better. So worth it. All right. I think Loathing of the Fire. Yeah, I'm gonna. I was worried I was gonna pull these names out and just cringe. Because sometimes, I get to working on naming stuff like this, and then I'll look at it a week later, and it's like, dude, what the hell was I thinking? These are dumb. So, it seems like it was still alright, though. So I'm going to write these down in the manual, and kind of play around with them, see how they word. Some of these might get flipped, like we might go with Lament of the Light and Dirge of the Dirt. I'm very torn, because Lament of the Loam sounds so good, but I might be picky and try and not have the same letter. Alarm crystals that screech if the light beams, something like that. let's see if I had to do it, because I'm trying to remember how the story went. I know the head scientist is just chilling at home, and like he has this little, basically a pager beeper thing, and it's just like, hey, if he actually starts moving, this is going to trigger, and it's just gonna go beep 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 beep. So he's at home chilling, and that thing finally goes off, beep 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 beep, and he's like, oh shit. So he runs back to the lab. And then they watch some security, because he gets that alarm, and he gets his men, and you know they like get together and they're like, all right, we got the he's on the move, we got the tranquilizer guns, whatever, blah blah blah. Let's go down, and they go down into the lab, and there's a body on the floor, which its head's just caved in, like was smashed against the desk, and that guy's back in the tube, just chilling, like he'd never moved. So they're just like, all right, that was weird. So then they go back and watch the security cam footage to see what happened. That's where the cameras come into play. But you can have a witness. The thing is, see, the person that got his head caved in, he was down there with some lady, but she was blind. So she can't see anything. Like she does not even know that she knew the guy when she was a child that's in the tube, and she had no idea who was in there. And that's how she finds out. Like somebody brought her down there that wasn't supposed to, and that's what woke that guy up. Because the guy with the blind girl started misbehaving and woke the dude up in the tube, and he's like, no. It needs a lot of work, but it's a fun story. Quartermaster Nicholas Mueller. It's also easier to write for me than Captain Heinrich Grossman. Well, hey, if it's easier, roll with it, man. Definitely a balance between evocative and edgelord. For sure. Some of these are very edgy sounding, but they're still fun. There's Smug. The internet just does what it wants. Doesn't want to send my comments this day. It'd be like that sometimes. Loathing of the light, lament of the loom. The loom? You mean the loam? Maybe lament of the light, loathing of the loom? Well, I was trying to get rid of one of the L's, if possible. We do not have more over here. Never mind, I lied. Ha! Loathing of the light and lament of the loam are fine. I'm just being picky. Yeah, I'm just being picky. No, these are the names of the corrupted Whisper Stones. We just kind of got off to talking about writing. The corrupted Whisper Stones and Moss and Stone. They give you lots of very questionable powers. Very dangerous. Most likely will delete yourself using them. Just fade to dust. Actually, you will become Hollow Tongue. It's even worse than fading to dust. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. And I think, let's see. I really just need to get a player manual together that doesn't have all my notes and stuff. I had one and then a bunch of stuff changed, so that's the problem. Every time I sat down to make one, I'm like, oh, I need to fix this. I need to fix that. Perfectly safe. It is the way to go. Yeah, so Mustache, you used it. I think I've told you a few times now. I want to make it to where instead of just hurting you for one strike, I want it to permanently remove one strike. So they are super dangerous, but super strong. So you're like, it might be worth it, you know? See, you can get another flaw by permanently losing that strike, which can work in your favor because you're only allowed to use your flaw once per scene. or round in combat. I think it's how it works. It might just be once per scene. So if you have multiple flaws, you can use them. You'll have more flaws to use per scene. Do all who fall to corruption end up stony? So you start to turn, if you're using a corrupted whisperstone, yes. But otherwise, if somebody starts to turn hollow tongue, and this is the one shot I mostly have made, there is the twice dead swamp. That is where the very scary vulture is that will dunk you and turn you into a hollow tongue and then eat you because it wants your heart. A lot of weird stuff going on in twice dead swamp, but in the center of it is this tree that is still alive, and some people think that it's remnants of the first clearing. But anyway, there's a very special bloom on that tree that you can get, and it only lasts for so long, but you can get it, take it, get it back to your friend who's turning hollow and cure them. But they have to be with it at a certain stage, or like before a certain stage of turning hollow. So I think we decided when their eyes go white, then it's too late. Did badgers get more strikes? Big boy becoming hollow tongue can be a problem. The beacon of the depths, unrelenting drudgery. Quailing of hearts. Look at that guy. Those are some orc. Quailing of hearts sounds orky to me. I think badgers do get one more strike, and then there's an inclination you can take that just gives you an extra strike. So you could do that and then pick that corrupted class, and you'll have more to work with. And the thing is, if you're the corrupted class and turn into a hollow tongue, you get whatever your base strikes were plus 2 more. So if you were the badger with the inclination, you'd be pretty tough. But you can't heal as a hollow tongue, is the other thing. The blooming blessing, the blessing of blooming. They gotta be sad and edgy, like grieving and loathing and lament and torment. Howling. Evil beefcake build, exactly. Is that what you're gonna make? Okay, so this was my goal today, so we got that knocked out. So my next thing is I actually had to just make a document, put it together that I can give to players. And I want to try and play some this weekend. We're really, I say we, it's my fault. I'm really dragging my feet on playtesting. So I'm going to try and do something this weekend. Probably won't be streamed unless everybody just decides, hey, stream it. So Wisp, reach out to me about that. Mustache, I know you're on the other side of the world, but the guy I'm trying to play with, Moss and Stone, this weekend, is an old buddy who was there when I originally got into this tabletop stuff. He is off this weekend, so our time window's pretty wide, I feel like. So we should be able to make something work if you're interested in joining, but I know the time is, like, you're way off. You're not on there? Did you come back? Or did you never go? I got confused with all your traveling. I thought you were in the lockdown in Africa. Never left. Oh, okay. I thought you were stuck at one airport. We're going to wait a day and then finish the trip. Okay, so you're here. Well, if you're interested, you can DM me. That should make it even easier. So if we can get Wisp, that'll be 1, 2, 3. That'll be 3 players. And that's enough for me. I can make that work. It will probably be a map you've already done, but unless I very quickly make something new, which we'll see if I do. Whoops. Because I got a book to write. I gotta do that too. I think we can make it work though. So that's what we'll do. GM Ben followed me on Twitch 34 minutes ago. Dang. Glee got him. You'll be here for the 30th now too. Yeah, that's Streamline Superheroes. That's gonna be fun. That's next weekend. All right. So yeah, let me piece this together. See what kind of one shot I'd cook up. I might just pull up a random map and make whatever and be very loosely Moss and Stone related. Mostly my friend just wants to roll some dice because it's been so long. So I will do that. Maybe a little presumption of me, but if you ever need a brand new beta tester, I can be available Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Just need a familiar. All right. GM bins everywhere. Monday, Tuesdays, and so when you say brand new, are you like brand new to ttrpgs or just brand new to the system? Honestly, either one is fine because those are both good things to test out on. Also, are you in the Discord? Do we have anybody in there named Smug? Or do you have like one of those folks that has a totally different name? I don't see anybody named Smug. All right. Brand new to the system, but you can join. Okay, yeah, it's a pretty easy system. It's easy D6. It's good. Matter of fact, it's currently a really good bundle going on. I made a community post where you can get like 4 easy D6 books. Pretty great. So, just saying. Hey, Glenn, what's going on? The clever, cool, crazy man himself. All right, if you, oh, is that you that just? There's Smug. Oh, dude, that. Y'all look at this avatar. Can I like make it big and pixelated? That's pretty good. Let me give you the thing real quick. Member Smug. Uh-oh. Is the bot not working? The bot is not working. I love Discord bots. They're so good. Alright, I'll give you the roll the old-fashioned way. Alright, so all I was trying to do there, Smug, was give you the role that lets you post links and everything and access voice chats, so. For obvious reasons, people when they first come in don't get that role. Oh man, have a test group new to Clever Cool Crazy and doing a session tonight. Credit to my friend, your guy the Odie, for the avatar. Well, tell him it's pretty freaking great and I like it. Not a live stream, otherwise just doing patient care. Well, that's good. That's good. If y'all don't know, Glenn's the brain guy. He knows all about the human brain. He's big smart. I'm trying to remember what you told me your actual work is, so don't spoil it. Don't tell me. A professor of neurology. That's right. That is Glenn. With a focus on neurodegenerative diseases. I got there. It's big words. They're hard. It's accurate. That's right. I got it. Glenn might actually know what's wrong with his brain. Well, he's got to diagnose mine first. Though I think he got it figured out by the time our interviews were done for that one video. I feel like all the people I interviewed gave me a quick little secret diagnosis while they were talking to me. Not a brain-eating zombie at all. Ah. Twice Dead might be. I could see Twice Dead being a zombie. It was a great Bashkin panel. Oh, did you watch that? Were you there? In the chat? I don't remember. That was fun. The Bashkin panel. The Bashkin Bash. But I was talking about the ADHD video where I had to interview people and get them all recorded up. That's where I think all the psychiatrists I was not psychiatrists. Psychologists? Psychologists, brain people, they were silently diagnosing me. I lose months of memories and they don't come back. Well, that's sad. Caught it on replay. Yeah. That's good, though. That's what they're there for. Still need to finish the bash. It was good. It was good. Well, you were part of the ADHD one. That's a video, not a stream. I think you even commented on it. You might be thinking of something else. I think people were holding back in the Bashkin Bash. They were being nice, but it was still good feedback. It was still good. The common denominator was more detail. They want more detail. It's like going to sleep in February and waking up in April. That would be hard to deal with. I don't know how you do that. That would drive me crazy. He was part of the kids game. Well, that's the one I'm talking about, Glenn, is the kids game one. That's the ADHD one. You think they were honest? All right. Well, then my writing's just that good. Back to work. We're under a bit of a crunch. Oh! Yeah, me too, Orc Man. Me too. Matter of fact, I am probably going to bounce now. So I can implement what we got done today and then get stuff set up and try and set up a game this weekend while trying to write a book. You were on that ADHD one. It was a good one. Adventuring Family, that's the one. Alright. I am going to bounce because it's 2 o'clock and I need to do things. So I do appreciate y'all coming out, giving me all these awesome names that I have to make a decision on now, which is gonna make me pull my hair out. But let's we'll get something set up for this weekend. Don't know if it'll be streamed or not, but I will poke y'all individually, or you can reach out to me. And unless I stream Monster Stone this weekend, that's it for this week. So I should be doing a Hangout stream next week. Let me double check. Yeah, either Monday or Tuesday, I'll do our good old-fashioned Hangout stream. Those are my favorite. So I will see y'all then for said Hangout stream, unless something happens between now and then. See ya. If I can find the button. Is it this one or this one? It's this one. Boop. I gotta hit the Twitch one.